From the age gap playing a huge factor in their fight to Mike Tyson pulling back his punches. Here's how Jake Paul won the fight from Mike Tyson and destroyed his credibility too.
I won't do anything if I don't risk being embarrassed. Like now, I want to fight this young motherfucker.
Me and Mike Tyson fighting. The vision I had, it's within me to be a fighter, to be a disruptor.
Mike, I love you, but I'm gonna take your throne, brother.
Hey there guys, and welcome back. In this video, we'll be talking about what really went down in the Paul and Tyson showdown. Now you've got to understand that defeating Iron Mike Tyson in the ring isn't an easy feat. So how exactly did this happen? Was it all just pure luck, skills, or something far more surprising? Well, stick with us as we take a deep dive into what went down in the octagon. But before we start, don't forget to hit that subscribe button because you don't want to miss what is going to come next. Let's be honest guys, when your favorite fighter loses, it's always a tough pill to swallow. And Iron Mike losing just because of his age was a tough blow. But here's the thing, iron rusts guys. And despite being in exceptional shape for a man of his age, being physically fit and being fighting fit are two different things. I mean, the guy has been seen walking with a cane, so it's safe to say that he was never in a shape to go up against somebody who is 30 years younger than him. Tyson was able to get the green light from his doctors, but at the same time, it's a very proven fact that as you get older, your reflex time decreases. And that's not because you're not training. It's because your brain and your body do not coordinate on the same level. So when Paul was training, he knew he had to use these areas of weakness to win this fight. After all, everything is fair in love and war, right? And whatever happens in the ring, happens. There's no way Jake was ever going to hold back. Everyone knows that boxing is a sport that demands peak reflexes, power, and out-of-this-world stamina, and Iron Mike had all these qualities but back when he was in his prime. Now decades later, it's nearly impossible for him to fight with the same mindset or power, and all of this was pretty clear in the fight. You could see how easily Jake was launching punches left and right. Mike was barely getting enough time to protect himself. Against a younger opponent like Paul, Tyson's slower reactions made him vulnerable to shots he might have dodged in his prime. Now, I know we see those 3-second clips on the pads, and Mike looked phenomenal, but it was pretty obvious that he was taking a long breather right after them. Tyson can still fight, but he just doesn't have the stamina or footwork to outbox a young, skilled boxer. He can't chase down a boxer who knows how to stay safe on the outside, use a long jab, and who is dangerous enough to not let him just rush in recklessly. And now let's consider the fact that Jake Paul is a great skilled boxer. Hear me out before you bring out your pitchforks, guys. Jake has always been a bit controversial in the boxing world. Most fans refuse to take him seriously, and those who actually do are made fun of. But you've got to admit that Jake has come a long way since his debut. For years, he's been working tirelessly to make a name for himself. Before the fight actually happened, the boxer was all over the place giving interviews, telling everyone about how they better believe he means business because he's been taking notes, training hard and getting better. Let's not forget that the boxer has defeated other legends like Ben Askren, Tyron Woodley, and even Anderson Silva. His technical skills are out of this world, and you gotta hand it to him for always knowing how to keep fans on their toes. During the fight, he could have knocked out Tyson in any round, but he didn't. Instead, he threw jabs after jabs and gave the crowd exactly what they came to see. An entertaining showdown. And the best part is that Jake knows what he brings to the table. He's confident and he's got his eyes set on bringing a whole new level of competition we've never seen before. Like I have said, Paul is not all talk. He's got the skills, the speed and the power to back it up. Plus, he was training like crazy ever since the fight was announced. He hired trainers from all over the world and was working out like never before. In one of the interviews, he even claimed that because of all the training he did for this fight, he was now in the best shape of his life. In the videos he's uploaded, you can watch the improvement in his boxing skills. Paul seems to favor an outfighter type of style. He uses his decent reach, jab, and footwork to control space, land punches, and score points. This is the same fighting style he perfected before the fight. This is why Mike couldn't last in the ring for much time. Tyson's stamina wore him out, and that's exactly what Jake wanted. At the end of the day, you can't deny that Jake had the skills, the power, and the stamina to take down the legend. Now let's talk about the wildest reason why Paul won the fight. Well, according to fans and some experts, the fight was straight up rigged. That's right. I mean, it won't be the first time something like this has happened in the boxing world. We've all seen legends returning all the time and fighting young blood just to make a quick buck. And with all the controversy surrounding the fight, it's difficult to deny this. I mean, why did a 58-year-old man step into a ring with a guy who was in his prime? Some believe it's because Mike wanted the easy money. Exhibition fights rake in a ton of cash and attention. They're all about the hype, bringing in big pay-per-view buys, sponsorships, and packed arenas. It's a money-making machine for everyone involved. And honestly, it's a win-win situation because guess what? No winner is announced. Plus, Let's not forget that Tyson's lifestyle is quite expensive to manage, so much so that the legend ended up in huge debt. Now, fans believe he was looking for a way out, and what better way to make some bucks than by getting in the ring after so long. According to reports, Mike was able to make almost $20 million out of this fight, which is a pretty good payday for a fighter who is no longer in his prime. On the other hand, maybe Iron Mike wanted to relive his glory days. It happens when you get old but still want to relive the moment you once cherished in the past. Let's not forget that he said it himself that he wasn't trying to prove anything to anybody. This fight was just for himself. I mean, good for him for trying, but the whole thing felt like a setup from the start. The fight looked like they had a talk behind the scenes about not roughing each other up too much, just enough to make sure that the fans remain hooked. This conspiracy was given even more fuel when some eagle-eyed fans found a moment where Tyson pulled back his punches. The footage was uploaded on X and the caption said, "Proof that the fight was rigged, fake, and Tyson was holding back, throwing the fight for money." In the 10-second clip from the middle of the third round, you can clearly notice the time when Tyson is going way too easy on the YouTuber. It shows Tyson appearing to load up a thunderous right hook as Paul's left glove dropped down, leaving his jaw exposed. But instead of landing what could have been the killer blow, Tyson pulled his punch as Paul moved his head out of harm's way. One fan responding to the video said, if it was real, Tyson would have destroyed him and been out of the ring in less than 2 minutes. Another said, that may have been the KO shot that Tyson pulled. But obviously both parties have denied this allegation and even hit back by saying that people just don't understand how hectic it can get in the ring. Still, no matter how the fight turned out, one thing's for sure, the fans had an absolute blast watching it all go down, and now, everyone's buzzing to see what comes next. Well, that's it from my side today, folks. Do comment down and let me know what you people think. Was the fight rigged from the start, or did Jake Paul win the fight fair and square with all his efforts? Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to learn more about Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. Plus, comment down below which UFC fighter or fight we should cover next.